A pleasant day to all. I have the privilege of presenting my research entitled Teachers' Organizational Commitment, Citizenship Behavior, Engagement, and Burnout in the Next Normal, a Structural Equation Modeling. I am Jayson Digamon, Senior Education Program Specialist from Depedhingog City and a candidate for the degree Doctor of Education at Liceo de Cagayan University. As a short overview about the conception of this study, I actually started with the idea that teaching has long been seen as one of the most gratifying and promising professions of all. Hence, I became just like most of you, teachers by profession and by heart. A career in education is fulfilling, but there are numerous drawbacks and issues that are related to this field. The problem of teacher burnout is one of the most obvious. In fact, O'Brien 2020 declared that burnout among teachers is essentially a global issue. As a teacher myself, I have stories of my fair share of burnout in the profession, all of which were exacerbated by the trying effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. The unexpected COVID-19 interruptions to K-12 education drove the thrust of the study in understanding educators' perceptions of the pandemic and inherent stressors. The Department of Education in the Philippines issued Deped Order number 034, series of 2022, highlighting the department's desire to return to 5-day in-person classes by November 2, 2022, while keeping in mind teachers and learners' safety and well-being in mind. However, teacher groups such as ACT and TDC raised concerns about DepEd's judgment to resume full-time in-person classes. The objections from these teachers groups are attributed to their fear that without adequate preparations, teachers will face another surge of burnout in their work. This study has three independent variables, namely commitment, organizational citizenship behavior, and work engagement. The study also has one dependent or endogenous variable, the teacher's burnout. Each of them and their connections were discussed in light of pertinent theories and literature. In addition to measuring individual construct, this study proposed different hypothesized models, and these were checked and tested to determine whether the models were fit to the observed data. We have the following hypothesized models, and one model is the best fit model. The respondents of the study were the 326 secondary school teachers in Hingog City chosen through stratified random sampling. The research utilized descriptive, relational, and causal comparative designs. Modified questionnaires were used, which were validated by experts and underwent test of internal consistency to ensure reliability. Descriptive statistics, correlation, multiple linear regression, and structural equation modeling were used to organize the data of this study. As to the data gathering procedure, the first step is to prepare the instruments, then seeking approval to conduct the study from the dean and school's division superintendent, then the administration of the instruments with the researcher calling to mind the ethical standards such as but not limited to informed consent, voluntary participation, and other ethical standards required as assessed by the Review and Ethics Board of the university, then data checking, data tallying, cleaning, and preparation, and lastly, statistical testing, analysis, and interpretation of the data. The results of the study are the following. The first statement of the problem investigated the level of teachers' organizational commitment. It was found that teachers have high levels of organizational commitment and have great resolve to stay with the schools in terms of normative or sense of obligation to stay, effective, affection for the job, and continuance or fear of losing the job. The overall findings shed new light on how attached teachers are to their jobs, especially in light of the difficulties that the COVID-19 pandemic and the switch from online learning to in-person sessions caused to the educational system. The second statement of the problem explored the teacher's level of organizational citizenship behavior to investigate whether they possess and manifest behaviors on altruism, sportsmanship, conscientiousness, courtesy, and civic virtue. The results show that teachers exhibit high levels of organizational citizenship behavior, which means that they perform tasks that are not officially assigned to them, but contribute to the efficient operation of their schools. The next problem is to measure work engagement of teachers overall. the level of work engagement demonstrated by the secondary school teachers is interpreted as high. All dimensions under engagement were also rated very high for vigor, dedication, and absorption. Hence, it was concluded that teachers are highly engaged in their work, thus have a strong sense of purpose and meaning in their work to provide quality education to the learners, which is their fundamental work. Burnout in this study is categorized into three subscales. They are emotional exhaustion, cynicism, and inadequacy. The results revealed that teachers have higher level of emotional exhaustion and moderate levels of inadequacy, but low level of cynicism. During the next normal, the teachers are emotionally exhausted, which is a clear indication of burnout. Teachers having a moderate level of inadequacy means they have moderate level of negative emotions, being unhappy and feeling unsatisfied about their work. The low level of cynicism means that means a positive indication that teachers still possess an optimistic view about their work and the teaching profession in general. This study also investigated the correlations between the work burnout and the independent variables, organizational commitment, citizenship behavior, and work engagement. It was found that five constructs and sub-constructs of the independent variables have significant relationships with teacher burnout. They are the following: affective commitment, continuance commitment, organizational citizenship behavior, sportsmanship, and dedication. Effective commitment, sportsmanship, and dedication had a significant inverse relationship with teacher burnout, while continuance commitment and organizational citizenship behavior had a positive correlation with teacher burnout. This relationship was statistically validated with the use of Pearson R. The next problem was to determine which of the variables, singly or in combination, best predict work burnout of teachers. Accounting for negative 41.3% impact is sportsmanship, which surfaced as the best factor to negatively impact teachers' work burnout. Not too far behind are affective and continuance commitment influencing teachers' work burnout. This is the best fit model to explain teachers' burnout. The model presents three latent variables, namely organizational citizenship behavior, engagement, and work burnout. From these latent variables, organizational citizenship behavior and engagement were presumed to predict work burnout. The slide presents the standard regression analysis of Weiss and beta coefficients. As presented in the slide, work engagement has a negative significant direct effect on teacher work burnout, but organizational citizenship behavior positively affects burnout of teachers. The results imply that when teachers are engaged in their work, their burnout decreases. And when they exercise and manifest increased organizational citizenship behavior, their burnout level tends to increase. The slide presents the acceptability of the model considering the fit indices. The model, which is the best model fit for teachers' burnout, um, is the best model since it successfully satisfied the required 7 criteria for the best fit model. The study concluded that among the many factors that impact teacher burnout, engagement and organizational citizenship behavior emerged as the most vital factors that explain teacher burnout. Thus, it was concluded that teachers need to be supported holistically, particularly emotionally and psychologically, to ensure that they become engaged and moderate their engagement in activities that are not so formally part of their job descriptions, as these can be considered opportunities to eliminate or at the very least reduce work burnout among teachers. The following recommendations are considered um, after knowing the findings and the conclusions. These suggestions may assist the Department of Education, school administrators, teachers, and other future researchers in conducting programs that adequately address work burnout of teachers. The Department of Education is recommended to conduct more psycho-emotional support intervention programs for teachers. It may provide resources and assistance for teachers needed to address work burnout, such as but not limited to the following: counseling sessions and stress management programs and activities to be conducted regularly with consistency. This study also offers recommendation for principals, teachers, and future researchers. The following are some of the references used in this study. Thank you very much for listening.